Welcome back. Grain SA held its annual Nampo Harvest Day Festival this week. The showcase gives role players in the agricultural sector an opportunity to experience the latest technology and innovative solutions. This comes amid unprecedented power cuts, which of course impact South Africa's food security. We are now joined in this discussion by Willouw Goosen, who's a key account manager at Bridgestone Southern Africa. Willouw, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Now, this year's installment of NAMPO took place this past week under the theme Agriculture Innovated. What was Bridgestone's objective at this year's showcase?
Good evening. Well, our objective at this year's NAMPO is to showcase where Bridgestone stands with the whole innovation of our product. And obviously the tires is playing a big part in the growth of the agricultural sector, because the tires is responsible for one of the main reasons for the soil compactation. So that's something that we needed to address, and with the new products that we are launching at the NAMPO show, that's the way forward for the future.
Speaking about the future, how far or ahead are we in terms of our industry peers when it comes to innovation in the agricultural sector?
I think in South Africa we are facing quite a few differences and problems of every day that's negatively affecting our yields at the end of the day. So something like the load shedding and the shortage of fertilizer that we have. So everything that we're working on and that we need to create a sustainable place for the future for our people. So from Bridgestone's side of creating or using the technology that we have in our product to make sure that we can enhance the future of our farmers on the fields that's available to them.
I mean, speaking of load shedding, we know that certainly has become a thorn across all industries in South Africa, and the agricultural sector is certainly not spared. What threat does load shedding truly pose, especially to the agricultural sector?
On the load shedding, especially of the farmers that use irrigation for their yields, especially part of KZN and the Free State, irrigation plays a big part of the yield upbrings. So for the guys that's unavailable or the irrigation is unavailable due to load shedding, probably half about of the yields are not damaged or lost due to minimal growth. So the load shedding is particularly on certain areas playing a big effect of the outcome of the yield, and therefore a shortage in food.
And that shortage in food, will we possibly see a shortage in South Africa where we would be so behind in terms of what we can produce ourselves within our borders agriculturally?
I hope not. I'm not 100% sure of all the stats, but the innovation that our farmers every day created for themselves to produce more and to do better yields for themselves and for the country. So at the moment, I think we're still in the running of supplying South Africa, at least with enough food, and with all the innovations, all the technology that is out there, the farmers is becoming better in what they do, and in that they do keep up to the demand at the moment.
As Bridgestone and as a tire company, and with all the innovations that you're currently coming up with, are you working in such a way that you can circumvent the pressures that load shedding puts onto farmers?
I think every part of the agricultural business plays hand in hand to get to the end result that we're looking for. So if we can improve one part of the segment, for example, the tires, it will definitely help to reduce the impact of load shedding. So that's why we at Bridgestone is really working hard with the new technology, and that's why the new Bridgestone agricultural product has the new ability to create that upbrings an extra potential without destroying the soil that could help to reduce the impact of load shedding.
And what's the financial impact of load shedding on Bridgestone itself as a company?
As a company itself, obviously we have a factory in South Africa, but it's a big challenge every day. We need to keep the factory running, and due to the fact that we are building the tires locally, even a slight drop in electricity could have an impact on that. So there's a big fight on that. But as we all know that we need to do a lot of recovering on things like solar and wind electricity. So obviously Bridgestone also went that route for solar panels and for solar electricity to keep the factories running. It does have an impact financially on us, but we hope in the long run that it will be maintained, and we will ensure that the future of Bridgestone in South Africa will go on.
And that financial impact, does it get passed down to the farmers in your value chain in trying to maintain what it is that Bridgestone is trying to do?
We try not. At the moment, all the products that we have is imported, or all the agricultural products is imported. So the financial impact of the South African load shedding isn't that hard hitting to the farmer at the end of the day. But every day that we're working on, and the exchange rates that have that fluctuation in it does play a part in the financial repercussions to the farmer itself.
I mean, we saw at NAMPO a number of companies have come together in trying to find solutions, innovative solutions, to assist in agriculture and also to circumvent all the pressures that load shedding is putting onto our farmers. What additional support do you think that South African farmers need in order for them to be able to still provide the numbers and the quantities and the quality of food that we need on our South African plates?
I think all the service providers to the agricultural system is working really close with the farmer itself. Each farm is unique to its conditions, to the soil, to the type of soil that he uses. So it's an everyday learning and growing experience that we have with every service provider to the agricultural sector. At the end of the day, one shoe does not fit all. So it's a build and learn situation every day. And I think everybody is playing their part to keep this farming sector a sustainable business for the future that to come.
Do you find that load shedding is pushing us to be more innovative when it comes to the agricultural sector, or is it taking us back with the innovations that we are trying to put in place in order to propel the agricultural sector?
I really think that South African farmers is resilient in the everyday business. To say that load shedding will get them down is, I think, only a statement that will make them stronger in the long run. I do not think that they will lay down and accept that load shedding will be the downfall of them. So, no, I think they're really growing and learning, and the innovation of everyday understanding of what needs to be done to secure the food for South Africa.
Most certainly. I mean, also with load shedding posing a problem, we're also seeing the rising cost of electricity. And we know that between 2007 and 2022, electricity has risen by 653%. Does this pose a problem in terms of the investments that are then made in the agricultural sector because of the rising electricity prices?
It does. Every investment needs to come from somewhere. So, and at a farm, every farm is its own little business. So every investment you made for the extra electricity or for higher cost to serve, you need to get more out of the ground. So that's where the innovation of the NAMPO and the service provider all comes together to help the farmer with solutions and providing them with stability to work back that extra investment that they needed to put in to just stay ahead of the needs.
All right, Willouw, thank you so much for your time this evening and for your insights. It really has been a pleasure. That was Willouw Goosen, the key account manager from Bridgestone, Southern Africa, speaking to us there about the shortages that we are seeing in the agricultural sector that's impacted by the load shedding that seems to be crippling South Africa's economy.